it's Rebecca from the Knitting Unicorn podcast, and this is episode 10. We've made it 10 episodes. If you're new, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you here today. It's a gorgeous day here in southern New Hampshire. I'm sitting on my deck. I have not podcasted for, oh my god, like 5 weeks, maybe 6. Every weekend the last 3 weeks I've been like, I'm going to podcast, but then either I was busy or lazy, or it's just been so beautiful on this deck that I've just been out here all the time, enjoying it and not wanting to do anything. The landscapers are outside, so I hope that the sound of the lawnmowers is not horrible, but we'll see. I was just in the mood to podcast. I took the day off. I'm going to get my hair done because these roots, oh my god. And just going to have a nice day. So, let's dive in. I have so much to show you. I have a couple FOs. I have some whips. I have some stash acquisition. And I have some knit-along stuff to talk about. So first is my FOs. This is my timely cardigan. Last time I showed it to you guys, I was finishing up the sleeves, and I have finished it. Well, I still haven't sewn the buttons on because I've been lazy. I'm never going to button it, so it hasn't been like a big deal, but I did make the button holes, so I have the buttons. They're little black ones, and they're cute. I'll get to it, but I've been wearing it all the time. I love it. So, I'll stand up and show you. So it's a little cropped cardigan, and the bind off was a little bit tighter than I'd like, but because it's cropped, I think I can get away with it. And could use another blocking because I've been wearing it so much. And it has 3/4 length sleeves, which I love. They fit really well, the sleeves. And I'm just really happy with it. I definitely want to make another one. I know some things I might change if I did another one. I think I might add some short rows in at the bust, or possibly just add on a couple extra increases, because I'd like it to be a little, it tends to fall to the side a lot, and I'd like it to be a little bit more staying there. Definitely would make sure I bind off a little stretchier. It's not horrible, but it could be a little stretchier. And I'd like to have a couple different versions, maybe a longer one, maybe another cropped one. I love it. It was so fast to knit up, and I just enjoyed it so much. So, timely cardigan, beautiful. I'll put the designer below because I can't remember right now, but I know a lot of you have seen it. So that was my first FO. I'm very happy. Then I did some socks. So I finally finished my Drippity Drop socks by Kay Jones from Bakery Bears. And you can see the pattern there. Is that the good one? The first one I messed up a little bit when I went to do the heel flap. Yeah. There's a little mess up in the pattern there. So I'll show you this one. And this is a slip stitch pattern. I love the way it came out. It looks great. It has this cute little umbrella toe. I don't know if you can see it. This yarn doesn't show off the toe the best. There, you kind of see it there. It's got a little bit of a spiral umbrella. There's the pattern there. And this was definitely a theme sock. I'm calling them my April shower socks because it was the Drippity Drop pattern in the colorway is Storm Cloud by Birch Dye Works. And I love it. I will say that because it's a slip stitch pattern, it doesn't have enough give right here. I mean, it has enough for me, but it's a little bit tight. So, it takes a little work to slip it on, but once it's on, it's wicked comfortable. And then I finished my May Flowers socks. Oh my god. Are these not so gorgeous? This is the Wildflowers and Honeycomb pattern by This Homemade Life. And the colorway I used was a sock set from the Wool Barn in Bramble. And these are just so stinking pretty. I can't even tell you. I haven't even worn them. I don't even want to put them on. They're so perfect. This is the heel flap is this honeycomb pattern, and this is wildflower pattern. Oh my god, they're just gorgeous. I am definitely gonna make more of these. I have a couple more sock sets that I'm considering doing in this pattern as well. A couple episodes ago, I think I showed you the sock set I got from Handspun House, and it was the pop art colorway. Pop art? Yeah, it was pop art. And I thought that would look really pretty in this as well. And then I got another sock set that I'm going to show you, which I'm so excited about. And I might do that in this pattern, but I'm also considering another pattern, which I'll show you when I get to it. So that's it for finished objects. I have a half object, so I guess we'll go into whips now. This is a sock for my husband for Father's Day, which I didn't finish, but I'll finish it. I'll finish the pair this week. And this is it. This is the Remus Lupin colorway from Nomadic Yarn. This is her Brit sock, which is a BFL nylon. And it's just a vanilla sock, 72 stitches. I did a heel flap and gusset just in stockinette. I wanted it to be very, very simple. So I slipped the first row of each. I slipped the first stitch of each row, and they're just like I said, stockinette. So I think they came out really nice. I really like them. I think I just started the gusset on the second pair, the second sock of the pair. So I finished that, and I'm just knitting around right now. And yeah, I'll have those done this week for him. And they're just really nice. I keep putting this one on to try it, and I really like it. It's obviously a little too big for me, but it's very comfy, and it's just gorgeous. You can see this. This is navy. It's navy, brown, gray, light gray, and dark gray. And then this yarn is the Reaper's Rags colorway from Spun Right Round, which is what is in my sweater. So I had originally done a garter stitch heel flap, but I thought it took away from the stripe pattern. It was too squishy, and like the texture was just distracting. So that's why I went with the stockinette stitch, because I thought it would be nice. And he usually wears these socks around the house, doesn't really wear them in shoes, so I wasn't terribly concerned with doing something a little thicker with a slip stitch, like a Eye of Partridge or whatever. So I think they're coming out really nice, and I'm excited about that. And moving on to actual whips. Excited. So the first whip, I've been talking about this for a little while. I cast on the Timber Cove Shawl by Megan Mako, and this is done in the Haven Fiber Arts Skinny Singles. This is the Timber Cove Shawl. There we go, a little less glare. And it's this textured pattern with a cabled border. Really pretty. And here's a close-up of that border. And so I cast that on, and mine is making progress. So I accidentally did 2 rows of the white, but I really didn't want to rip it back because this is not an easy pattern to rip back. So I'm leaving it. I think it actually doesn't look bad. When it's all done and it's big, I don't think this will be that noticeable. But I'm going to say it's a design feature. But, so here we are. And I'm just going to keep going on it, making progress. And then my cabled border is going to be mint. So I'm very excited about that. I think it's going to be gorgeous. And this yarn is so soft and squishy. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait to finish this. However, I have been distracted by my other whip, which I'll show you in a minute. But this is coming out really nicely. I'm really happy with it. And yeah, and with this mint, I think it's just stunning. And these are the colors I used for my underwing mitts. Also Haven Fiber Arts. And I was so inspired by those colors that I asked her to dye me up full skeins of singles for this. So, very excited. That's going to be beautiful. It's a little warm for it right now to wear, so I'm not desperate to finish it. So, that's my next whip. And then the last one, which I'm in love with. I talked about last time I bought the yarn from Less Traveled Yarn, the DK in the colorway Opera Cake. And this is what that looks like balled up. It's gray with some mauves and dark browns. It's really pretty. And this is for my Campside Cardi, which I have been dying to cast on forever, and I finally did it. So, here we go. I think it's coming out really nicely. And I'm going to finish it this week as well. Well, I'm going to finish the body this week. So what I plan to do is I had to rip out the bottom a few times. It's obviously a paid pattern, so I can't go into too much, but there's 4 lace charts, and the eyelets start out, kind of far apart, and then they get closer and closer together. And it's pretty subtle, but I like it a lot. The last chart is a pretty open lace work, but I'm really struggling with it. It's just eyelets. I don't know why I'm struggling with it, but I'm just not liking the way it's coming out. So I'm only going to do the 3 charts. So I'm going to do like 3 or 4 more inches of chart 3 before I do the 2 inches of ribbing, and then I'll move on to the sleeves. And I think that'll look really nice. So I'm excited about that. And it's beautiful yarn. The sleeves are a little big for me. I do have a large chest, so when I choose my size, sometimes my armholes are too big. So what I'm thinking is that I'm going to sew up here where I cast on the extra stitches for the body, and then I'll start here. So it'll be like 4 stitches less, and then I'll do some decreases. I'm also thinking about casting on the sleeves separately and then just grafting them together because flipping this around constantly as I'm doing the sleeves is annoying. It's a bigger sweater than this, and it was annoying to do on this. So Amy Florence from Stranded Dye Works, she had said on one of her podcasts that she does that with her sweaters because of how irritating it can be to have to flip the whole sweater around, and I thought that was a really good idea. So I'm going to try that with this. And this is living in my new fringe field bag in blue, which I got at Squam, which I'm going to talk about now. Squam is an art fair and workshops that they do at this beautiful campground place up in the Lakes region in New Hampshire, and it's on Squam Lake, and everyone talks about how beautiful and magical it is, and I've been dying to go. So this year I wasn't able to go to the week of the workshops and stay overnight. You know, I had work and stuff to do. I just couldn't swing it. But I did get to go to the art fair marketplace, which is open to the public, on the last night. And it was gorgeous. So I'm going to post some pictures at the end of it. And it was so nice. And a lot of vendors that I love were there. Sarah from Less Traveled Yarns, she was there, and I talk about her yarn all the time. I've done a couple of projects with her. It's the Campside Cardi's her yarn too. So I was super excited to meet her and check out all her colorways in person because they're just so gorgeous. I cannot stress enough how much I love her yarn. It's like she's dying from my brain. So I got some yarn from her. Woodsy and Wild was there with some of their bags, which were really cute. I didn't buy one because my local store sells them and she's local to me, so I didn't buy from her because I could buy from her whenever. And Mary from Birch Dye Works was there, someone else I love. I did buy something from her because my husband really wanted it, but they also sell Birch Dye Works at my local yarn shop, so I hadn't intended to buy it, but this was so pretty. It's one of her summer colors, so I'm excited to show that to you. My husband got me the Fringe Supply field bag as a gift because he knew I loved them so much. Woolly Thistle was there. Oh my god, so many people were there. I can't even... Spin Cycle Yarns was there. Bristol Ivy was there. A bunch of other people I didn't know, but some really great stuff, and it was awesome and beautiful. So I bought from Traveling Yarn, or Less Traveled Yarn. So I have been trying to figure out, I have one skein of La Bien-Aimée Atomo Rhinebeck, which is the Rhinebeck 2017 colorway, and it's a skinny single. I've been trying to figure out what to do with it, and then I decided I was going to start gathering some skinny singles that all went together and do the Vertices Unite shawl. So the first thing I got was this skinny single in Roller Derby Queen, and you can see this. And I thought this would look really nice with the La Bien-Aimée colorway I have, because it's also a grayish color with spots of color, teals and things like that. This is similar but with more color, so I thought that would be a nice one to have. And I also have another that I got from a D-stash that's like mostly brown, so that's going to be part of it too. So I just need a couple more colors, and I thought that was a lot of fun. So I got this. And then I also got, I wanted a sock yarn, just something to remind me of summer and being at Squam. And so I bought the Aspen colorway in Sparkle Sock. Oh my god, this is gorgeous. It's all of these happy yellows and some browns, and it sparkles, if you can see that a little bit, little sparkle. I don't normally do sparkles, but it was just so pretty and so happy. So I thought that this would be a fun one to do. Of course, now I want to buy a sweater's quantity of this in her DK, not sparkle, to do a sweater. So, yeah, I love this colorway. This is just gorgeous. So, this is Aspen. And so these are the two yarns I got from Less Traveled Yarn. And then, like I said, Mary from Birch Dye Works was there, and we popped by to say hi, and my husband saw this yarn in DK. It's called Banshee on a Bender, and it's one of her summer colors. She has a few. I think there's Mermaid on a Bender, and I think there's a fairy one. It's like pink. The mermaid one's the green. This is blue, and then the other one's pink, and this one's green. So it's Banshee on a Bender, and it's this gorgeous lime green with these speckles of hot pink, blue. I think it's black. Could be navy. I'm not sure, but it's really pretty. And I'm gonna do a pair of fingerless mitts for my husband out of this, and I think he'll love that. So crazy soft. I love it. I actually made myself a pair of mittens out of this same base, different color, last winter, and I love them. They're just so nice. So I know he'll like these as fingerless mitts. So that's what I got there. And I also got, I don't have it with me, but I got a pin. So Gather Here is a shop in Cambridge, Mass. And they were there as well. And I bought one of their resistance pins, which I absolutely loved. Resistance is handmade. See if I can find a close-up. Yeah, so I got one of those. Absolutely love it. And I'll show a picture at the end. I changed up my enamel pin collection situation. I had them all over my bags, and they would just fall off all the time. I know a lot of people have problems with that, and it's so annoying. I just recently lost the pin I got from Teeny Button Studios, the little fox pin I love so much, and that fell off somewhere. And I've had other pins fall off left and right, and I'm pretty sure I've lost some others, but I can't remember which ones they are anymore. I find pin backings inside my project bags and missing a pin, and I don't know what happened. So I've decided to change up the display, and I got some embroidery hoops that have a piece of cork covered in fabric inside of it, and I know I could make them myself, but I didn't want to, so I bought them from Texas Stitch on Etsy, and I got them in 3 different sizes with different fabrics. So cute. And now I have them on my wall in my knitting nook with all my pins on them, and I have some space for more pins, so that's great. And I'll also show a picture of that at the end, and I'm really loving the way that that turned out, and my whole little knitting nook is so cute. I want to podcast from up there, but I need to get some studio lighting for that, because the lighting, the way it is now, is not conducive for podcasting. Great for knitting, bad for podcasting. So eventually I'll do that, hopefully this winter when I have to podcast inside, because I would like to podcast as long as I can outside and just be outside as long as I can. It's so beautiful here. So I'm in the woods. There is nothing back here for like miles. We live in a little conservation town, and it's just really nice and quiet. It's kind of far from everything, which sometimes can be annoying, but it's a beautiful town. So anyway, moving on, a few more acquisition things. So I am going to be doing the Olive Knits 4-day knit along with the Beekeeper cardigan. I'm so excited. It's going to be so much fun. It starts July 1st, and we are going to be knitting her pattern, the Beekeeper cardigan, in 4 days. So it works out well because it's over July 4th, so I will have 4 days to spend on it. And if you saw on Instagram, I really struggled with what colors to buy, and I decided on the Fame colorway from Lolo Did It, and I will show you what that looks like. Now, this is a pair of socks that Knitty Expat did, but this is the Fame colorway. So I've chosen that colorway on her Whole Lotta DK, which is a merino silk base, which is one of the recommended yarns for it. And so I ordered that. That should be coming soon. And then I also got, oh my god, these are so cute, from Knitty by Nature, who's Melissa Malloy. She made these little honeycomb hexagon stitch markers with the little bee progress keeper. And let's see, they're hexagon shaped. And I love them, so I got these to go along with my cardigan. And I'm so excited to start that. So I hope that you guys are doing it too, and I'll be following the hashtag, and I think it's going to be so much fun. So yay! Hope I finish in time. And then the other thing that was super exciting was Whips on Sticks. is a yarn. Yes, Kayla from Whips on Sticks in Deer Park, Washington. She has been doing a Legend of Zelda yarn club, and my husband and I are huge Legend of Zelda fans. Love it so much. We have a lot of Zelda stuff in our house. We have matching Zelda tattoos. He has a Triforce on his wrist, and I have the Sheikah symbol, which is Princess Zelda's symbol. So she started it this month in June. I just got it, and the very first month of it, the inspiration was actually Princess Zelda herself. That's a more anime version. There's some other versions as well, but you see the pink and purpley and yellow dress. This is the way she looks in Hyrule Warriors, which is another game. This is one of my favorite looks for her. Anyway, there's a bunch of different ones. I love it. So that was the inspiration for this month, and this is it. Oh my god! Look, I want to, if I can take this out. Well, I don't want to take it out, but it's blowing out a little bit. It's a pale pink with peaches and purples and speckles, and then the mini that goes with it is this gorgeous golden color. This is just so beautiful. It is even better than I imagined it would come out. I really wasn't sure how it would look. I mean, I knew it would be pinks, but when I took it out of the package, I was just so happy. So this is just stunning. So hopefully when I do the editing, I can make it look the way it actually looks. I get really close so you can see it's a little richer than it's been blowing out. So really, really beautiful. This is on her Simplicity sock base, which is a 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon, although it feels much softer than that. It's so nice. 463 yards, which is really great. And the mini is 92 yards, so it's a really good amount of yarn here. And then it came with some goodies. I'm not going to explain what this is. It's a heart container, soap. So if you know Zelda, you know that's your life. Get your little hearts. So it's a little soap, black cherry soap from Snow Cute Soaps on Etsy. So that came in this package. Super cute. I love it. And then Kayla also made little bag charms or progress keepers. It's kind of big, so I think that's why she's calling it a bag charm, but it is not heavy at all. I think on a heavier project, like a worsted weight project, you could use this as a progress keeper. But she handmade these little Zelda faces, Princess Zelda faces. The little elf ears and her little crown. She painted them. I mean, it's just perfect. I mean, I can't believe she made these. Look at it. It's so beautiful. So, I am so impressed with this. I can't even. So, I love it. And next month, I think, don't quote me, but I think that it's still open for another day or so. Next month, the inspiration is Midna. This is fan art, but it's good enough. So Midna is these blues and greens, a little bit of gold and black. So Midna is the inspiration for the July one, and I am super excited. It's going to be awesome. This is more fan art, but the colors are spot on. So those colors will be the inspiration. I'm so excited. So, totally loving the Legend of Zelda Yarn Club. If you are into that stuff at all, I highly recommend checking it out. Whips on Sticks is her Instagram name, and it's just awesome. So that is so much fun. I'm loving it. Okay, and the last thing is the Knitting Unicorn Knit-Along is ending tomorrow. Oh my god, I can't believe it. I did not show you the progress on my Unini the Unicorn because there is none. I have been working away on all the other things I showed you today. I admit I have not been inspired to work on this has nothing to do with this. I love Unini. I love the pattern. It's the picture. I'm very excited to do it. I've just been more excited to work on some of these other projects. So I will get this done this summer. It just won't be done for the knit-along. But I have seen some really cool stuff from you guys on the knit-along, and it's been great. It's been a lot of fun. I definitely will make it shorter next year. I think it was too long, but it was my first time, so you never know. Now you know. So, you have until midnight Eastern Standard Time in the US to post your finished objects. If you have done anything knitting, unicorn related, knit or crochet, you are eligible. Doubling up on other knit-alongs is fine. Anything. So if you made a unicorn, if you did maybe color work with a unicorn, if you knitted or crocheted something with a unicorn-inspired yarn, whatever, it's very open. There's a link in the show notes to the knit-along page with more of the specifics, but there really aren't a lot of specifics, just something unicorn-related. If you knit anything like that this past spring, post it in the FO thread so you can be entered in the drawing for the grand prize, which is the Knitting Unicorn project bag made by a Single Strand Studio. And along with that will be a skein of the Unicorn Kisses yarn, which is dyed up especially for us by Lisa of Flying Fin Studios. And this is the Unicorn Kisses colorway. It's so pretty. This is our Tango sock, 80% merino, 20% nylon, 400 yards of sock yarn, fingering weight. And there will also be a coupon code in here for the Snip Snap Socks pattern by Jen Stack. So that's the grand prize. I'm really excited about it. So make sure to get those FO threads in by tomorrow night. FO pictures in the thread by tomorrow night so you can be entered to win this. Yeah, and it's so exciting. So that's that. In the chatter thread, if you have anything you want to say about the knit-along, any ideas for next year, my plan is to always do it in the spring, and it will always be unicorn related. But as far as any ideas on length of time or running it or anything like that, I'm totally open to ideas. So I think it was a good idea. It just was too long. So we'll do that next time. I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else to talk about today. Hopefully I will podcast again in 2 weeks. That is my plan. I feel like in the summertime maybe it's harder for me to stick to that, but 2 weeks from today is July 4th. So hopefully July 4th weekendish I will do another podcast, and hopefully I will have the sweater done and the socks done and some more fun things to show you. So thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. Bye.